I'm Dr. Christina Blatchford.
And I'm Dr. Bill Blatchford.
And in the following videos, we are going to be showing you how our Platinum program works.
What we do in the Blatchford Solutions custom Platinum coaching program is we find out what you want. We don't have an agenda for you. We want to learn exactly the results that you want to get from your practice and to translate into living the life you want to live. So we spend a lot of time finding out what it is that you want. Then we dig deeply into our toolbox and find the tools to help you achieve the results that you want to achieve.
All right, so we've coached some really great practices and we've coached some underperforming practices, and we like to say from good to great. So part of this is putting systems in place that really work.
You bet.
And we'll talk more about systems, but we take a practice and we don't turn everything upside down. I had a conversation this morning with a doctor and his spouse, and she was concerned that we would come in and turn things upside down. Mm-hmm. And I said, no, things that are working, we leave alone. As a matter of fact, a lot of what we're teaching today, I've learned from the 3,500 practices. And when I first started, of course, we taught what I did. And that was good, but it wasn't as good as it is today. So we take a look at everything in the practice and make it work more efficiently. And we make it a lot more fun. I think that's the biggest thing. The doctors actually look forward to going to work. You know, the TGIM, thank God it's Monday. So over the 35 to 40 years, you know, we've been through, we mentioned the recessions, but we've also been through, we've had doctors with their offices have caught fire. We've had, well, literally we had a town burned down. Mm-hmm. We've had hurricanes. We have earthquakes. So we've had experience with doctors being out of their office. And so again, what we're teaching has proved to work. And some of the doctors' competitors are struggling. And actually what we've seen is some of the other consulting companies are scrambling to come up with something new to work in a recession.
Right, and our principles are not new, but they are proven, and they are so much more even important right now than they have been before, because a doctor who does not have systems in place simply is going to struggle in this economy. So the program starts with a summit meeting, and that is 4 to 6 hours with the doctor and spouse and one of our consultants and coaches. Mm-hmm. And what we do is we really discover the dreams with the dentist and his or her spouse to find out what they really want their life to look like. And we even go 20 years out so that then we can reel that back in and figure out what we need to do in order to reach those goals. And then we talk about vision and putting in place a vision for the office so that everyone on the team knows exactly what to do at what time, you know, what we would really like to see and how we can make this work as smoothly as possible in terms of both the numbers and efficiency.
So you come out of this summit with a written plan, basically, how to accomplish this. And then a follow-up call to make sure we're on the same page, which is very important. And generally we are, but sometimes we tweak it a little bit to find out, well, we forgot to mention this or didn't bring this up, what was important. So that's how we start. It's very much customized at that time. And we do introduce some systems at the summit. I think an important thing that we do also at that summit is looking at the team members.
You bet.
Looking at the team members, and we have, I call it almost a proprietary system for evaluating those team members, but it's very quick and it's very easy. And we really kind of figure out, okay, who's on board, who's not.
Exactly. Who shares the vision and who doesn't share the vision? Because if you've ever read that book, The Boys in the Boat, it really doesn't work very well to move towards where you would like to go when you have team members who might have their oars in the water and they're not rowing, either they're not rowing in the direction that you're rowing, so maybe they have their oars in the water and they're neutral, or they're rowing the opposite direction that you are.
The summit is where we sit down with your doctor and the spouse and find out really what you want. We dig down, we ask a lot of questions. We want to learn what it is, the results that you're looking for. And then we help you develop a rudimentary set of systems that you can take back and actually start using the next day that you practice. So you start seeing results immediately. And we've had doctors tell us on numerous occasions that simply from what they learned at the summit, which is the first meeting that you have, they have more than paid for our program. And the rest of it is just gravy. So it is a time where we learn what you want and design the systems, design our program to fit you and get the results you want.
Why don't you talk about the Dynamo, what we do at the Dynamo?
You bet. So the Dynamo is our first 2-day seminar, and that is with the doctor and team. And we start with the vision, what the doctor sees for the vision for the practice. And then we also talk about all the different systems that we'd like to put in place to go from good to great with this practice. So block booking is one of the systems. Our bonus system is a big system. That is getting our team on board and our team understanding what's in it for me. You know, what is in it for me besides a job.
Well, that's right. And I think that bonus system really works. And then I think another thing that really gets the teams excited is the incentive to be more efficient.
Yes. And the team then has an owner mentality, which really is so important. So the doctor then gets to spend the majority of his or her time doing case presentation and the dentistry, which is what we want to see.
You know, one of the things that I share with the team members at that Dynamo is I have the doctors all put their hands up in the air and I say, team, take a look at these. These hands belong in a patient's mouth. And when these hands come out of a patient's mouth, your little production line stops. It actually runs backwards because the overhead continues.
Right.
And as Christina said, this whole day, the first day of that Dynamo, is designed to get the team members thinking like owners.
You bet.
They're no longer just going to work 8 to 5 and picking up a paycheck and saying, thank God it's Friday, I get to go home and do what I enjoy. And so that's the first day. What about the second day?
The second day, we really focus on case presentation and how the team can be involved in the case presentation. And, you know, the thing that we really emphasize here is no one actually needs what we do. You know, this is a big concept that is kind of mind-blowing for people when we say you're a dentist and we say no one needs dentistry, you know, but no one needs their teeth. And I think that that's an important part of the mindset that we need to go into this with. We're uncovering patients' wants. We're wanting to find out what's motivating this patient to potentially do the treatment.
Yeah. You know, I've worked a lot on this and actually worked with a psychiatrist for 2 years with a group of dentists. And one of the things that we found out is people don't like to do anything they need.
Right.
But we love to buy. We love to things we want. And so we have to look at it as wants. And then we don't turn needs into wants because nobody needs it. So I mean, I don't like that term at all, and we don't use it. And I'm not being sarcastic when I say no one needs what we do. I'm very sincere that no one even needs teeth to have a very successful life.
You bet. I mean, your grandparents were in dentures, and they did fine.
Yeah, and if you come from this approach, it just removes all the barriers that people have to having dentistry. It really works well. But here's, I think, more important than just teaching the team and the doctor doing this, is getting the team involved.
Absolutely.
It's getting the team involved so they do most of this. Because we got to keep those hands in the patient's mouth, and that's a huge difference right there, is the team is there and the systems they learn, and they leave this Dynamo so energized. They leave so energized that it's amazing what happens right after that.
The Dynamo was named because it is really a dynamic seminar. Now, you think, oh God, another seminar. Well, yeah, guess what? You bring your team either virtually or in person, and this is where you really begin to get your team on board. The team starts to see how all of these pieces fit together. The team starts to see how the bonus system that we help you implement really benefits them and how they are actually in control of how much bonus they earn. Now, doctors, don't worry. They don't get a bonus until you get paid. So for every bonus they get, you get some too. Don't worry. And this is really where things start, where we start to see that exponential part of the growth curve happen. It's a really interesting, fun 2 days. It's light, it's entertaining, and there also we also have alumni doctors there that you can learn from, your teams can learn from. So it's a very dynamic environment where it's not just sitting and listening to somebody drone on while you take notes. It's really it's a good 2 days. It's a very valuable 2 days, and you'll leave with a set of tools, a set of systems that you can go back and begin working with first thing on Monday morning after the Dynamo. And that really is where we start to see things take off.
I think one of the most powerful parts of the program, Christina, is the in-office consultation where the consultant actually goes into the office, because that's where we really customize all the systems to fit the particular office. And we literally have offices in every nook and cranny across the United States and Canada, from downtown Manhattan to small rural settings. And so everything's different. And we have clients that are strictly cosmetics. We have people that are general dentists. We have pediatric dentists. We have periodontists. We have every type of practice you can think of. And so we have to customize every system to fit the individual office.
Right. We have some practices that are fee for service, and we have some practices that are PPO driven and potentially might want to change, if they're PPO driven, to become more fee for service. So we certainly have that system in place to retain as many of those great patients as possible.
Well, that's a lot of doctors come to us for that.
Right.
They'd like to be more in control of their practice and not deal with the restrictions of the insurance companies, not deal with as much paperwork, and be strictly fee-for-service. And we've helped literally hundreds of offices make that transition. I think we should probably also mention that a lot of doctors, of course, come to us to learn how to be fee-for-service, and we do that. We've got a great system for that, and our biggest producers are fee-for-service. But we also have a large number of our clients are what we would call a hybrid, where they have a large portion of PPO patients. For example, a major employer in their town may have a certain insurance company, but we teach the team and the doctor how to have more meaningful conversations with those patients so that the patient sees the value of, hey, maybe this dentistry is okay, even if I have to pay for it.
Right.
Would be all right. So don't be afraid that we're going to make you into a fee-for-service if you don't want to be.
So the Peak Performance is our second 2-day seminar, and this really takes all of the concepts that we learned at the Dynamo and elevates them so that we're really performing at the highest level that we can. So we actually go over the DISC test and learn different personalities and how we can really sell or present dentistry to the different personalities in a way that they really will understand. We also get to find out who's on our team. How can we how can we communicate best with our team members and really make that work? And so that's our second 2-day seminar.
Something that you'll learn at the Peak Performance is more in-depth, more well-rounded, polished systems that you can take back again and use first thing Monday morning. And the other thing that we really emphasize at the Peak Performance is celebrating your success. Between the Dynamo and the Peak Performance, you will have experienced some tremendous successes, and we want to celebrate those with you. So it's a time to celebrate, it's a time to learn more, and really, so the exponential growth curve starts at the Dynamo, and we really see it hit that vertical phase after the Peak Performance.
Well, the Peak Performance is a great time, and that's actually one of probably my favorite seminar, in that it's a time for the doctors in the program to celebrate their success. For one, they've been in the program now for a few months. The doctors and the team are starting to see the changes, are starting to experience some success, and we share that. And then, of course, we go into all of the systems and really fine-tune those. And especially, again, a fair amount of time is given to, again, the sales process.
Case presentation.
Case presentation. And we relate that then to personality types and how to relate to different people. It's a great seminar.
How to make it even more effective.
Yeah. But I think the biggest thing is the celebration of success at that point in the program.
Very good.
So we only take 50 clients a year, and out of that, those 50 clients come from approximately anywhere from 500 to 700 doctors who we interview, and they interview us. But we also are interviewing them to find out, are they coachable? Do they really want what we have to offer? And so we're very selective about that. You know, when we wrote our purpose many years ago, we said we don't want to be the biggest, but we want to be the best. And our criteria, Christina, was the based on the results that our clients get, not
Absolutely.
on any other criteria. We want to be the best based on the results we get.
And that is why we don't work with every doctor
Well, that's right.
interested in working with us, because we want them to be absolutely 100% successful, because our results speak for themselves.
And I think the fact that we've worked with so many doctors over the years, somewhere around 3,500 at least, and counting, and it's not just more money. I think that's an important part. People come to us for that. But the other benefit they get is, of course, more time off. I mean, it's difficult for doctors to understand that initially. Well, how can I take more time off and still make more money? But that's one of the biggest things that we've put together.
You bet.
We've both run successful practices. I was doing over $1 million back in 1985 at a time when crowns were $300. And that was in a town that we had 40,000 people and 54 general dentists. So it wasn't exactly some little spot in the desert that I was practicing. So we know how to run a successful practice. We've done it.
Very good. And we think it's very important to note that all of our consultants are actually former team members. And certainly we don't poach, or we didn't poach these team members from offices. Their dentist retired, and then they went ahead and worked with us. And they've been with us for 20 years, which is terrific. So they have 20 years, each has 20 years experience, and we have 3 throughout the country. And so we feel very confident that we know what we are talking about.
Well, we've also coached over 3,500 offices, Christina, and they're all over the country, as you said. And so 3,500 offices, we've learned a lot, we've seen a lot, and we've learned from each one of them. And we've been through, I was thinking the other day, we've been through at least 3 major recessions during that period of time that we worked with doctors. And the material that we're teaching actually has worked every time. And the beautiful part of it is that we don't change anything. I mean, it's always been the same. It's been the same basic principles. So by putting these 3 things in place, number 1, we've got great systems. We've been proven systems over the years we've worked. Great systems, world-class coaching by dentists. And then I think the other thing that we do is some very simple but proven metrics to actually be able to monitor the practice and see the growth, see in the different areas. And that's how a dentist can actually have their dreams of their practice come true,
Right.
is these 3 systems.
So if you are curious and thinking about coaching, we invite you to go to our Google page and look at our 400 plus 5-star reviews. Mm-hmm. And these are reviews from dentists and team members and spouses that may even have been skeptical. This might sound too good to be true.
Well, I think the dentist, looking at this, you do need to be somewhat skeptical, but that's why you need to look at these reviews, Christina, because
Right.
some of those people, many of those people that were skeptical have become our biggest fans. I mean, they are our biggest fans. And one of the things rewarding for us, too, is when these team members who were skeptical, and then when they move across the country or something, they call our office and say, is there a Blatchford office in this new city that I can work in? So that's been rewarding for us as well. So look at those Google reviews and ask yourself the question, find some of these that kind of fit with your practice in your life. But one thing to remember, every practice we coach is different, and the coaching and what we do in each practice is different as well. This is not a cookie cutter approach.
Absolutely. It's 100% custom for each doctor, and we really take a solid amount of time to find out what's truly important for each doctor to accomplish in the 18 months that we are in their program.